The biggest question that I get asked all the time is, Raul, how do I set my New Year's resolution? How do I create my goals for next year? How do I set myself up to win? And see, we forget that the moment that we set New Year's resolution, most people never accomplish them because 85% of people give up 45 days into the year. So let's discuss the 5 strategies to implement in 2021, because I want to give you strategies. I don't want to give you just some fluff, some shit in the wall for you to stick, or some vision board shit. I want you to have strategies. And I want to recommend that you don't set a New Year's resolution. I want you to set an outcome. What are the outcomes that you need to accomplish? What are the outcomes that you need to set? And the way that I run my life is every 100 days, I have outcomes. Every 30 days, I have checking points. Every 60 days, I review it and I adapt and adjust and execute. So let's go to the first strategy. The first strategy is measure your R.O.E. over your R.O.I. What does that mean? The most valuable asset that you have is your energy. So R.O.E. is the return on energy. See, find out what energizes you versus what drains your energy. I talk about this all the time. Some of you get stuck on the goals, you get stuck on the vision, but you're actually doing activities that drain your energy versus the activities that give you energy. See, your productivity is a reflection of how well you can manage your energy. And every single time that you show up with low energy, every single time that you show up stuck or you feel frustrated, you're actually not being productive. You're actually just grinding things instead of tapping into the flow state and accomplishing what you want. So create a procedure that will help you maintain your energy standards. Have a procedure that says, okay, here's my energy standards. Here's what I need to do in order for me to maintain my energy. Here's what I need to do in order for me not to drain energy. Here's the things that I need to delegate, because most of you guys are doing way too much shit. The reason that you're frustrated is because you're doing everything. You're doing your marketing. You're doing your sales. You're doing everything, and instead of having a team. If you want to scale your business, if you want to be more productive, you need to depend on your team. Even if you're working for a corporation, right now, you need to depend on the co-workers. You need to depend on your team. Because at the end of the day, you're not self-made. We all need people around each other. We all need other people that we could count on. So create procedures that will help you maintain your energy. And the best thing is, understand that you cannot take other people's energy. Repeat this mantra: their pain is not my pain. I was having a coaching call early on this week, and somebody said, Raul, how do you deal with negative people that you have to work with? How do you deal with negative people that have to be in your team or that have to be around your life? And I said, well, it's simple. Just make a decision that you're the leader, not the savior. You don't have to save people. You have to lead them. But the moment that they trigger you, the moment that they infiltrate your energy field, then it's your responsibility to take on that energy or not. This morning, I was taking my son to school, and he was having a bad day because he has a test. So he was having a negative energy because he didn't study the night before. And I said, listen, you're going to school. I'm not going to school. You're not going to mess up my ride to drop you off because you have a bad mood. So I had to block that energy, and he had to deal with it himself. And see, some people say, well, that's bad parenting, Raul, because, you have to help him. No, he needs to learn. I'm the leader, not the savior. He needs to learn how to deal with his failures. He needs to learn how to deal with the consequences instead of us trying to protect other people from their pain. Pain is growth. People avoid pain all the time. And if you're the leader, you have to actually give people their pain so they can grow from it. And you hear that from me all the time. I'm not here to take away your pain. Don't come to this program for me to take away your pain, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some salt in your wound so you could heal. That's my strategy. Pain for me is growth. And every single time that you address the pain, you feel the pain, you see the pain, you acknowledge the pain, then you have a choice. You either grow, or you're going to sedate, you're going to reflect, or you're going to avoid the pain. So create a strategy of how to maintain your energy standards. Don't run away from the pain, and don't take other people's pain. Understand, every single time that you're doing something that drains your energy, you're always going to be less productive. Second strategy, get clear on the base hits versus the home run. I talk about this all the time, and that is a must. Like, I have home runs. I want to hit home runs. But every single day, I'm focusing on my base hits, because the base hits could actually add up to home runs. So the moment that you hit home runs and you become addicted to home runs, they're not sustainable. Every single time that you focus only on home runs, you're not going to build momentum, because you're going to feel like you're failing. You're going to feel like, man, I'm not getting what I wanted, because the reality is that hitting home runs every single day is not sustainable, but create a sustainable base hit strategy that you can maintain even at your worst day. And that's the key here. Whatever you do at your worst day, and if you could feel like on your worst day, you could feel like, man, I won today, I'm productive, I'm grateful, I'm blessed, then you have a strategy that actually works because you're not depending on only the best days. How many times do we have best days every single, throughout the whole year? It's impossible for you to have the best day every single day, 365 days a year. But if you could have a strategy that even in your worst day, you could feel grateful, you could feel alive, you could feel that you accomplished something, then you're fucking winning. Because at the end of the day, as you increase your capacity, your base hits will turn into home runs. And the moment that you have your base hits turn into home runs, you actually are building that stamina to be able to create more than you ever created before in your life. The third strategy is create a strong vision with a flexible plan. And that's the key here, a flexible plan. So your vision will expand as you grow. Don't get caught up on the details how, because learning to adapt, adjust on the how will give you the certainty to keep on going. And that's the key thing. See, we have to have a strong plan, have a strong vision, but a flexible plan. A lot of people get caught up on like, man, this is how I wanted to do it, Raul. This is how it was done before in the past, Raul. This is how other people have done it. Fuck how other people have done it in the past. So fuck have you done in the past. Right now, as we enter into a new year, as we enter into a new opportunity, you have to learn to adapt and adjust to new strategies. And the more you listen to feedback, the better you're going to become. And that's where we fail. I realize that every single time that I fail is only feedback. Life is always giving me feedback. My job is to learn from the feedback. My job is to learn from that experience. If I'm not listening to the feedback, if I'm just caught up on how I want things to go, if I'm just caught up on how I see the world, I'm not being open to the feedback from life. I'm not being open to the lessons. See, so many of us, we get stuck on the how, and we have these rules and how things need to happen and how things need to go, that we don't learn from the experience. But the moment that you have a strategy to have a flexible plan, but a strong vision, then every single time that you don't get what you want, you always believe that you're getting exactly what you need. The fourth is get around people who will not let you play small. That's a key strategy to be able to expand your vision in 2021. Because right now it's easy for us to get around people that will complain, that will blame, and they want to play small. There's no shortage of businessmen right now that are blaming the government, that are blaming the economy, that are blaming COVID for all the problems in their lives. But the moment they get around people that will not let you play small, that will not let you be the victim, then that's the moment that you could expand. See, the difference between those people that are dreaming and those people that are making shit happen is who they listen to the most. The moment they realize, man, who am I listening to the most? Am I listening to all the negative shit that's going on in my life? Am I listening to all the negative people around my life? Or can I listen to the people who are breaking through? Can I listen to the people who are making things happen? Can I listen to the people that are finding a solution versus being stuck in the problem? Because if you listen to those people that are being stuck in the problem, just a matter of time that you're going to be just like them. It's a matter of time that you're going to be looking at the world through their eyes. So I want to recommend that you get around people that will not let you play small. And the fastest way to solve your problem is help somebody else solve theirs. People ask me all the time, Raul, how do I get around people who think big? Well, serve. Serve other people. Ask questions. How can I help you? How can I serve? What do you need help on? There's no shortage of people who think big that want to be around people who think big at the same time. And give them permission to hold you accountable. At the same time, hold someone else accountable. The biggest mistake that we make is that we think that, okay, I could do it on my own. I could do it on my own. I got this. But the reality is that if you don't give somebody else the permission, say, listen, hold me accountable for doing this. Hold me accountable for showing up. Hold me accountable for not giving up. At the same time, hold somebody else accountable and tell them, listen, how can I hold you accountable? What do you need from me to hold you accountable so you could raise your standard versus letting you play small? Because the more you give, the more people are going to give you at the same time. The fifth strategy is focus on where you're going, not where you've been. And that's the biggest struggle that every single one of you is going to have to face this coming year, is because we want things to go back to normal. We want things to go back the way things used to be. And see, we have to learn from the past. Don't try to change it, or don't try to recreate it. The biggest mistake that we do is we try to go back to the way things used to be, whether it's in our marriage, whether it's in our business, whether it's a connection with God. But the reality is that you can't change the past, but you have the power to create the future. You have the power to be able to say, okay, what do I want from my life? What do I want from now on? Who do I need to become? Because the moment that you find certainty of who you're becoming, you make that vision into reality. The moment that you have certainty, okay, whatever happened in the past is the past. And now I have the opportunity and the choice to create my reality. And what happened this past couple of weeks is that I planned this epic vacation for my family. For the past 10 years, we've been going to the Caribbean, to Mexico, somewhere warm during the winter towards the end of the year. And the past couple of years have been, every single time it got better and better. Actually, a couple of years ago, I took my entire family, like 25 people. I flew them into Dominican Republic, and we had an epic week of being on the beach. That was actually one of the last vacations I took with my father. So this week I want to do it again. I said, okay, that has been a family tradition. So I booked it. We stay in this beautiful hotel. I booked the Ritz in Cancun. We have first class tickets, and everything was set. And then all of a sudden, my son comes to me and says, Dad, I don't want to go. And it's not like him, because he's always excited. It's actually his birthday. We always celebrate his birthday in a vacation. And now he says, Dad, I have so much school and have classes, and right now, I need to stay focused on my studies. Plus, I have asthma, so I'm afraid. What if I travel, I get COVID? And then he said, what we come back and maybe we don't get sick, and then what if we could get our grandmother sick and the people around us sick? So all of a sudden, he was telling me all this real shit, but all I was hearing is, this kid wants to stay to play video games. That's all I was hearing, like all the excuses, right? So I came through, and when I came through in that moment, I was like, I'm going to teach my kid, you can't live on fear. We have to go, because I'm not going to let COVID stop me. I'm not going to let this, people, put me in a box. I'm going to continue the tradition that we've had for the past 10 years to be able to celebrate our holidays somewhere warm, somewhere together. But at the end of the conversation, I told him, I said, I'm going to think about it. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to respect your decision, and I'm going to see how we're going to handle this. The next day, I woke up and, man, had so many scenarios in my head. I said, okay, what if I let him stay, let him learn the lesson. I'll take my wife, I'll take my daughter, and then the three of us will celebrate, the holiday together. And then I said, okay, well, if my wife doesn't want to go, because I already saw her kind of like, being in his side, I said, well, I'll take my daughter and me, and we'll have a daughter and daddy, vacation. And then if she doesn't want to go, fuck it, I'll go myself. Then I earned it. I have to relax. I have to be on the beach. So you see how the mind is trying to recreate the past. And then after I had some deep meditation, I asked myself, what is the reason? What is the motive? What is it that I really want? When I got to the core, what I wanted to do is I wanted to spend time with my family. The reason that we go away is because we want to disconnect and we want to connect. And see, if I leave my son behind, or leave my wife behind, or leave my daughter behind, then who am I connecting with? See, sometimes we're so rigid about our rules and we want things to go our way. So at that moment, I made a decision. I took out the app and I canceled the vacation. And the moment that I canceled it, was like a light went through my body, lifted the energy, the stress. And I just got so much gratitude, because it took me back to 9 months ago. My wife and I were sick with COVID. And see, I don't want people to go through that. See, sometimes we don't think about other people. We have the best intentions, but even having the best intention, the motive is not clear. So ask yourself, as you continue to create your plans, what is the motive? What is the reason? And what does it have to look like? And can you be flexible the way that things could look like? Can you be flexible to what the universe and God are giving you? Because sometimes you don't get what you want, but you get what you need. And this past weekend, instead of going to the beach, we went to the mountains and we went skiing. We had an amazing time together as we bonded, we connected. Nobody was on the phones. Nobody was playing video games or watch TV. They were connected. And that's what I learned, that sometimes we have to just listen to what we need, not necessarily what we want. So here's a breakdown. 5 strategies to implement on 2021. Number 1, measure your ROE over your ROI. Focus on the return on energy versus return on investment. Number 2, get clear on what base hits are versus home runs. Focus on the base hits. Create a strategy to maintain a base hit every single day so you could feel, even at your worst day, you're winning. Number 3, create a strong vision with a flexible plan. Don't get caught out in the perfection. Don't get caught out in the how. Focus on the vision and focus on what needs to happen, who needs to become in order for you to get there. Number 4, get around people who will not let you play small. Get around people that will help you level up. Get around people that have a high standard. And number 5, focus on where you're going, not where you've been. Don't try to recreate the past. Don't try to change the past. Focus on where you're going. Because as you continue to progress, you continue to grow and expand, the best is yet to come. And every single time that you surrender of how things need to be, you're actually going to start appreciating where you are. Because the moment you appreciate the level that you're in, God and the universe will open up the doors for you to walk into the next level effortlessly. But the hard part is to let go of the mindset of how things need to be in order for you to realize that you already have everything you want. You already have everything you needed. All you need to do is to step in to your next level. If you're a man that's looking for the edge, go to findmynextlevel.com to join us on a 30-day challenge. This challenge is going to give you the system and the process so you can find your code to the edge.